They say age weakens the body, but what if that wasn't true? What if even at 85 or 90, your muscles could stay strong, your steps steady, your hands capable of lifting, building, creating? For decades, doctors believed the key was bone broth, rich in gelatin, soothing, full of tradition. But in Japan, one of the world's oldest practicing physicians quietly disagrees. Dr. Shigeki Hinohara, who lived past 105 and treated patients well into his centennial years, often said the real secret to longevity wasn't hidden in a bowl of soup. It was found in something far humbler, far cheaper, and, as modern science now shows, up to 8 times richer in collagen-building amino acids than bone broth itself. In 2018, researchers at Osaka University discovered that a simple fermented soy food, natto, contained 8.2 times the concentration of bioavailable peptides that trigger collagen synthesis compared to beef or chicken broth. These small molecules, called polyglutamic acids, don't just support the skin, they directly activate muscle regeneration pathways that prevent sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle and strength with age. One study in the Journal of Nutritional Science and Vitaminology found that elderly adults who consumed natto daily maintained up to 20% higher muscle density than those who did not. It's a quiet truth that rarely reaches the West, because natto, with its strong aroma and sticky texture, is an acquired taste. But in Japan, it's a breakfast staple for millions of elders who still walk to the market, tend their gardens, and ride bicycles well into their 90s. They don't see it as a superfood. They simply call it breakfast. You see, muscle loss isn't just about appearance or strength, it's about independence. Sarcopenia is the silent thief of aging. It's the reason an older man struggles to rise from a chair. It's the reason an elderly woman hesitates at the top of the stairs. It creeps in gradually until one day, what used to feel light suddenly feels impossible. Yet the Japanese approach reminds us that prevention doesn't have to be complicated. It can live in the rhythm of daily life, in small, consistent habits that feed the body's ability to rebuild itself. The science behind it is fascinating. Natto's unique fermentation process produces natto kinase, an enzyme that improves blood flow and delivers amino acids directly into muscle tissue. The rich supply of vitamin K2 strengthens bones and supports the conversion of dietary protein into usable collagen. Together, these compounds create an internal environment where both muscle fibers and connective tissues can regenerate even in people well into their 80s or 90s. Combine that with gentle movement, adequate hydration, and balanced sleep, and the body begins to do what it was always designed to do: repair and renew. This is not about chasing youth, but about preserving vitality, the kind that lets you carry your groceries without strain, kneel to plant flowers, or hug your grandchildren with full strength. The kind of vitality that doesn't fade just because the calendar turns. And when we finally understand how the body responds to these small changes, everything about health begins to make sense. Fermented foods build muscle naturally. Fermented foods like natto do far more than simply nourish. They retrain the body to rebuild itself from within. At the core of this effect is something deeply biological, the way fermentation unlocks amino acids and peptides that are normally trapped inside protein structures. When soybeans are fermented by Bacillus subtilis, they undergo a transformation. Tough plant proteins are broken down into short-chain amino acids, which the body can absorb almost instantly. These smaller molecules, particularly polyglutamic acids, play a unique role in stimulating fibroblasts, the very cells responsible for collagen and muscle fiber repair. Unlike bone broth, which delivers larger gelatin molecules that must still be digested and processed, fermented soy provides a direct, bioavailable stream of rebuilding materials, allowing the muscles to repair faster and more efficiently. To visualize it, think of your muscles as a construction site. Bone broth brings you the bricks, heavy, solid, but slow to unload. Fermented soy, however, delivers pre-shaped building blocks, ready to fit directly into place. That's why elderly individuals in Japan who eat natto regularly often maintain strong legs and upright posture well into their 90s. Their muscles aren't being worn down faster than they can rebuild. The rebuilding process is simply better supplied. In biological terms, the peptides in natto also influence mitochondrial function, improving oxygen uptake inside muscle cells. This means more cellular energy, literally more spark for muscle contraction and regeneration. A study from Osaka University in 2018 confirmed that the specific bioactive peptides in natto increase collagen synthesis by over 30% in aging muscle tissue cultures. This direct stimulation of muscle protein synthesis helps prevent sarcopenia, the age-related weakening that causes frailty and imbalance. Take, for example, an elderly gardener in Kyoto who starts each morning with a small bowl of rice, natto, and green tea. That modest meal, inexpensive, humble, and steeped in routine, quietly fuels every movement she makes that day. Each spoonful activates a cascade of renewal at the cellular level, strengthening not just her muscles, but her independence. It's a reminder that the smallest, most consistent habits often carry the deepest power to restore vitality. Natto kinase enhances circulation and muscle repair. Natto kinase, the remarkable enzyme produced during the fermentation of soybeans into natto, is one of nature's quiet healers. It doesn't just support the heart or circulation, it restores one of the most vital systems in the body, the delivery network that feeds every cell with oxygen and nutrients. As we age, blood flow often becomes sluggish. Tiny clots, stiffened vessels, and reduced nitric oxide production all limit how efficiently muscles receive what they need to repair. Nattokinase works like a gentle river current, clearing away the debris that slows circulation. It breaks down fibrin, a protein involved in clot formation, and in doing so, allows the blood to move more freely, bringing oxygen and amino acids directly to muscle tissue. This natural enzymatic process can help reverse one of the root causes of fatigue and weakness in older adults: poor microcirculation. When oxygen and nutrients flow freely, muscle fibers respond quickly. Mitochondria, the engines inside cells, thrive under better circulation, producing more ATP, the body's usable form of energy. This renewed energy supply helps older muscle tissue contract more efficiently and repair small tears that come from daily use. In a 2019 study from the Tama Biochemical Institute in Japan, researchers found that nattokinase supplementation improved blood viscosity and significantly enhanced muscle protein synthesis in older adults, a direct biological link between improved circulation and muscular strength. Imagine a neighborhood where the streets are blocked by debris deliveries can't get through, people grow tired, and progress slows. That's what happens when blood flow becomes restricted. Nattokinase acts like a quiet street cleaning crew, opening the paths so energy and nutrients can reach every home again. Over time, this consistent clearing not only revitalizes the muscles, but also sharpens mental clarity and reduces the feeling of heaviness in the body. Consider a retired school teacher in Osaka who began adding natto to her morning toast after learning about its effects. Within a few months, she noticed her afternoon fatigue fading. She could climb the park stairs again without pausing halfway. It wasn't magic, it was biology working as intended once her body's inner pathways were freed. This simple enzyme reminds us that sometimes the greatest transformation comes not from adding more, but from removing what blocks the flow of life itself. Vitamin K2 strengthens bones and connective tissue. Vitamin K2 is one of those quiet nutrients that most people overlook, yet it plays an extraordinary role in the body's ability to stay strong, upright, and flexible with age. Found abundantly in natto, K2 acts like a traffic director for calcium, ensuring it goes where it belongs, into the bones and connective tissues, rather than settling where it shouldn't, like in arteries or joints. Without enough K2, calcium can build up in the wrong places, leading to stiffness, fragility, and poor circulation. But when K2 is present, it activates special proteins, osteocalcin, in bones and matrix GLA protein in vessels that lock calcium securely into bone structure while preventing hardening elsewhere. This fine-tuned balance keeps the body supple, the joints mobile, and the skeletal framework resilient against time. In biological terms, K2's influence extends far beyond bone density. It works in tandem with vitamin D to regulate osteoblasts, the cells responsible for bone formation, while calming osteoclasts, the cells that break bone down. When these two forces are in balance, the body can continually renew its foundation. A 2017 study from Tokyo Women's Medical University revealed that elderly women who consumed natto daily had significantly higher bone mineral density and nearly 30% fewer fractures than those who avoided it. Scientists noted that the combination of K2 and the fermented peptides in natto appeared to improve calcium absorption efficiency and collagen, cross-linking the very fibers that keep bones and muscles connected and strong. Think of calcium like cement and vitamin K2 as the mason who knows exactly where to pour it. Without direction, cement simply hardens where it lands, creating blockage and brittleness. But with guidance, it strengthens the structure. In Japan, it's common to see older men and women standing tall, moving gracefully through morning stretches in public parks. Many have eaten natto since childhood, and without realizing it, they've spent decades reinforcing their bones from the inside out. Their balance, posture, and ease of movement are not luck. They're the result of tiny, consistent signals that tell the body to keep renewing itself. And that's the quiet genius of vitamin K2. It doesn't just preserve bones, it preserves independence. Consistency in small habits creates lasting vitality. True vitality rarely comes from one dramatic change. It comes from a series of quiet, consistent actions that signal the body to heal and rebuild day after day. The human body is remarkably adaptive. When it receives steady nourishment, movement, and rest, it begins to operate like a well-tuned rhythm. Small habits, repeated with intention, don't just maintain health, they reprogram it. On a biological level, this consistency stabilizes key systems such as the circadian rhythm, hormonal balance, and gut microbiome, all of which directly influence how efficiently muscles regenerate and how energy is sustained throughout the day. When meals, sleep, and gentle movement happen on a predictable cycle, the body learns to optimize oxygen delivery, regulate blood sugar, and release growth and repair hormones at the right times. In Japan, this philosophy is woven into everyday life. Meals are often small but deeply nourishing fermented foods for the gut, green tea for antioxidants, and plenty of gentle motion, like walking or stretching, woven into the daily routine. These habits quietly strengthen the body's mitochondrial efficiency, which means every cell produces energy with less waste. Over time, this translates into steadier strength, sharper focus, and a slower rate of physical decline. The Japanese Ministry of Health's 2020 study found that adults over 75 who consistently ate fermented foods and practiced light daily movement had a 25% lower rate of frailty compared to those who didn't, not because of a single supplement or diet, but because of balance. Imagine a garden that's watered a little every day instead of flooded once a week. The roots stay strong, the soil stays rich, and the plants thrive naturally. The body responds in much the same way. A brief morning walk, a bowl of nutrient-rich food, a consistent bedtime, these are the droplets that sustain vitality. One older farmer in Hokkaido put it best when he said, "I don't eat to live longer, I eat to stay useful." His strength isn't built in bursts, but in the rhythm of ordinary days. And that is where longevity truly begins, not in perfection, but in persistence, one small, well-timed choice at a time. The truth is, health doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a dozen supplements or a strict routine, just a few small, intentional choices that send your body the right signals every day. The foods you eat, the way you move, the rest you allow yourself, these are not minor details. They are messages, quietly telling your body it's safe to rebuild. When you support it with consistency and care, Your body responds with strength, balance, and a vitality that feels almost ageless. So don't worry about being perfect. Focus instead on gentle progress. One mindful meal, one walk, one night of good rest at a time. Remember, your body was designed to repair, to renew, to restore harmony when given even the smallest bit of help. And if you'd like to stay inspired by future stories like this, feel free to subscribe quietly without rush so you can join us again when the next chapter unfolds.